Albert Einstein was born in Ulm, Germany, in 1879. He came into the world during a time full of surprises and changes. His family was not rich, but they loved him very much. His father was a businessman who tried to sell electrical equipment. His mother played music and inspired young Albert's love for harmony. Even though they were not wealthy, the family created a warm home filled with learning and discussion. This love for knowledge started little Albert on his journey of discovery. As a child, Albert was different from other kids. He often felt shy and didn't fit in with his classmates. School was hard for him at times because he learned in a different way. Teachers did not understand him well, and he struggled to fit into the usual rules. He faced many moments when he felt sad or alone. However, these feelings didn't stop him. They guided him. During these tough times, he learned how to notice his emotions, even when they were heavy. He discovered the importance of self-awareness and how to deal with difficult feelings. You see, it was not just about school subjects. Albert found joy in other areas too. He had a passion for music from an early age. He learned to play the violin and saw it as an escape. Whenever he felt greater pressure or sadness, music helped him find peace. The feelings of tension and worry faded away when he played. He realized that turning to music made him strong, even when everything else felt wrong around him. One important lesson came during a tough time in school. Albert faced a difficult math problem that everyone seemed to solve quickly. He felt disappointed when he could not find the answer. Instead of giving up, he decided to keep trying. He studied hard, practiced, and asked for help from others. This experience taught him resilience. With this new power, he learned how to face problems with more strength. He learned that it was okay to struggle. Learning from difficulties was part of growing up. Another moment that shaped him happened when he failed an important exam. His mind was full of worry. He felt scared about his future and wondered if he was smart enough. But this failure became an important lesson instead. Albert realized that failure did not define him. It was just a step in his journey. He gained confidence in himself when he picked himself up after the fall. He developed a positive mindset even when situations seemed hard. Growing up in a supportive home and a changing world made him curious. Young Albert watched how things worked in the world around him. He spent time thinking about stars and how light traveled. He dreamed of being an inventor and changing the world with his ideas. This fascination led to countless dreams and goals. As we travel with Albert through his early years, we see how emotional growth shaped a great thinker. His story is not just one of success, but of learning through challenges. Each struggle equipped him with lessons that paved the way to greatness. The early years of Albert Einstein remind us that anyone can overcome difficulties. Through determination, passion, and self-awareness, hope can always shine through. In every challenge, we find a spark of possibility, ready to light the way ahead. As Albert grew older, he reached a turning point in his life. This moment showed him the value of emotional intelligence. It all started when he entered a new school. This school was bigger than his last one, and he felt nervous. On his first day, he faced many students who seemed confident and friendly. Albert struggled to fit in and felt a wave of doubt wash over him. At first, he wanted to hide away. Then, he had a realization. He just needed to be himself. With this understanding, he began to regulate his emotions. Instead of letting fear control him, he decided to open up. He approached a group of students during recess and talked about his interest in science. To his surprise, a few students shared their interests in the subject. They started chatting about their favorite science experiments and discoveries. In that moment, Albert felt understood and accepted. He learned that connecting with others could ease his anxiety. This experience sparked a journey of emotional growth for him. However, challenges in his life were not over yet. As Albert moved forward with his studies, he faced a significant setback. He submitted a crucial paper to a scientific journal that he believed was groundbreaking. With great hope, he awaited the reply, dreaming of being published. Unfortunately, the response he received was filled with criticism. The reviewers felt he had made serious errors in his work. Their harsh words hit him hard. He felt disheartened, and at that moment, self-doubt crept in once again. Would he ever be recognized for his ideas? Will he have what it takes to be successful? Instead of giving up, Albert took a step back. He decided to assess the feedback openly. He realized he could learn from it. By doing this, he started to navigate his emotions more effectively. He took notes and examined each point of feedback to understand better what he needed to improve. This experience taught him the importance of resilience. Albert discovered that even smart people face criticism. Learning to embrace mistakes became a key part of his journey. As he faced more challenges, Albert encountered intense pressure in his professional life. He had many expectations to meet while also pursuing his passion for new inventions. Some people expected him to produce results quickly. It made him anxious, but he learned to use his emotional intelligence to cope. Instead of rushing and stressing, he started to take small steps. He focused on one task at a time and divided his big projects into smaller pieces. This way, he felt less overwhelmed. When he felt frustration building up, he took breaks and reminded himself to breathe deeply. In challenging moments, it was also essential for Albert to manage his relationships. He found himself collaborating with other scientists who sometimes had different views. When tensions rose, instead of arguing, he listened carefully to their ideas. This practice of active listening strengthened his connections. He learned that understanding others could open doors to better solutions. It was important to communicate clearly and be open to different perspectives. Through these experiences, Albert learned not just to survive in his world but to thrive. Each setback helped him grow stronger. With every challenge, he built his confidence and emotional awareness. Albert's journey is a reminder that feeling emotions, managing them, and learning from them creates a path to personal and professional success. Everyone can face obstacles, but with strength and emotional intelligence, it is possible to overcome them. Always remember, the power to change one's mindset lies within us, ready to be set free. As Albert continued to face obstacles, he knew he had to keep growing emotionally. Hard work and dedication became his daily focus. He understood that his emotional intelligence was as important as his scientific skills. With each setback, he practiced self-regulation. This skill helped him manage his feelings better. When he felt stressed, he reminded himself to pause and breathe deeply. This small action made a big difference. He found a calm center within himself that allowed him to think clearly during tough times. Mindfulness became a part of Albert's routine. Each day, he set aside a few minutes to sit quietly, focus on his breath, and observe his thoughts. It was not always easy, but he was committed. Some days, he struggled to sit still, while other days the thoughts raced through his mind. However, he learned to accept each day's challenges without judgment. These moments of stillness helped him become more aware of his emotions. He learned to recognize when worry or fear crept in. With this awareness, he began to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting without thinking. Empathy also started to play a significant role in Albert's life. While working on group projects, he focused on listening to his classmates and their ideas. These experiences taught him that everyone had unique feelings and perspectives. By practicing empathy, he built better relationships. When someone felt sad or upset, he took time to understand their feelings, offering support whenever he could. This practice not only strengthened friendships, but also enriched his understanding of human emotions, which affected his work positively. During a critical project, Albert faced a major challenge. He teamed up with students who disagreed with his ideas. Their strong opinions made the atmosphere tense. Instead of getting upset, Albert chose to listen. He learned that understanding opposing views opened doors to new possibilities. After careful consideration, he incorporated some of their ideas into his own research. This not only helped the group succeed, but also showed Albert that collaboration could lead to outstanding results. By welcoming diverse perspectives, he built bonds that deepened trust and communication among his peers. As time passed, Albert learned to celebrate small wins. Whenever he accomplished a task, he took a moment to express gratitude and joy. Whether he finished a challenging experiment or received positive feedback, he valued each success. This practice of acknowledging achievements boosted his spirits. He understood that hard work and perseverance, combined with emotional awareness, were the keys to fulfilling his dreams. This uplifting attitude became his standard, showing him just how far he had come. When facing difficult times in school, Albert made it a habit to take regular breaks. He moved away from work and went for walks in nature. These moments connected him to the world outside of his studies, allowing him to recharge mentally and emotionally. Nature reminded him there was beauty in every challenge. He learned that stepping away and returning with fresh eyes helped him see problems in a new light. Ultimately, these strategies helped lower his anxiety, making it easier to tackle projects ahead. Through hard work and practice, Albert cultivated the key components of emotional intelligence. Each day, he pushed past challenges with a hopeful heart. This journey strengthened his mind and spirit, leading him to believe more in himself and his abilities. The struggles he once faced became stepping stones toward greater awareness, empathy, and social skills. Albert's story inspires us to keep exploring our own emotional landscapes, showing us that any effort made in growth will illuminate our paths ahead. The tools for change lie inside us, waiting to be discovered and embraced. As Albert continued his journey, he faced a moment that changed everything. He was excited about a scientific conference where he would present his latest ideas. It was a big event, filled with many brilliant minds. Albert prepared for weeks, working hard on his presentation. This was an opportunity to share his discoveries and gain recognition. However, the night before his big day, something unexpected happened. Albert was feeling nervous and excited, but he couldn't sleep. His mind was racing with thoughts about what could go wrong. What if no one listened? What if they did not believe in his ideas? These worries filled him with fear. Suddenly, he remembered all the work he had done to strengthen his emotional intelligence. He took a deep breath and paused. He knew deep down that he had the skills to handle this moment. The following morning, Albert arrived at the conference. The room was buzzing with energy, and people filled every seat. He felt a knot in his stomach as he watched others present their work confidently. When it was finally his turn, Albert walked nervously to the stage. Standing in front of the audience, he took one last deep breath. This was his chance to shine, but the pressure was immense. As he began to speak, something went wrong. A technical issue interrupted his presentation. The slides he had prepared would not show. Panic started to creep in as he faced the audience without his visuals. His heart raced, and doubts flooded his mind again. At that critical moment, Albert realized this was a test of his emotional intelligence. He could either panic or find a way to save the situation. Instead of letting fear take over, he paused and collected his thoughts. He remembered all the lessons he had learned about patience and self-regulation. With his heart still pounding, he decided to connect with the audience in a new way. Albert looked at the audience with determination and a smile. He shared his ideas using clear words and simple explanations. He spoke about his passion for science and how he discovered his findings. As he spoke from the heart, he noticed people starting to nod in agreement. They were engaged, listening closely to his story. Albert realized that sharing his passion and knowledge was powerful. His emotions were now guiding his words, and he felt more confident with every passing moment. This connection transformed the presentation from a simple speech into a lively discussion. Despite the challenges, he was now fully present in the moment. Albert embraced the emotions swirling within him, and this shift changed everything for the better. Instead of focusing on his fears, he focused on what he was sharing. The audience responded positively, raising questions and showing genuine interest. At that moment, Albert knew he had overcome more than just a technical failure. He was growing emotionally. His experience taught him that setbacks could lead to growth if approached with courage. The initial fears melted away as he focused on his message. By using his emotional intelligence, he learned that the power of connection could turn a monumental challenge into a moment of triumph. Albert's story serves as a reminder that every challenge can inspire personal growth. When we confront our fears and embrace our emotions, we can transform any situation into an opportunity for success. With determination and connection, anyone can rise above obstacles and showcase their true strengths. Every experience builds resilience, and opportunities lie ahead. Even during tough times, hope and positivity shine brightly, always inviting us to forge our unique paths forward. As Albert continued his presentation, he felt a wave of relief mixed with excitement. He had turned a challenging moment into a powerful experience by connecting with the audience. Their attention shifted from the technical failure to the passion he showed. Albert's heart filled with determination, knowing this was the moment where his emotional intelligence truly shined. He embraced vulnerability and authenticity, qualities that stirred something deep within the listeners. With newfound confidence, he began to share not just his ideas, but also his journey. He talked about moments of struggle and doubt he had faced along the way. Albert revealed that he once felt like giving up, but decided to keep going because he believed in his work. His honesty and openness inspired those in the room to reflect on their own challenges. They felt a connection, realizing they too had faced difficulties and fears. As Albert spoke, he noticed many people nodding and smiling. Some began asking questions, eager to understand his research better. This was a beautiful moment of mutual growth. Albert listened carefully to each question, responding thoughtfully and with empathy. He made sure his answers were clear and approachable, inviting others into the conversation. The excitement in the room grew, and soon it felt like a dynamic exchange of ideas. In that inspiring atmosphere, Albert could sense that he was not merely presenting, he was sparking a collaborative spirit. He encouraged fellow scientists to share their experiences as well. This openness created a space for everyone to contribute. His emotional intelligence helped him connect deeply, showing that he recognized the importance of everyone's voices. The event turned from a simple presentation into a vibrant discussion, showcasing the power of shared ideas. As they talked, it became clear that some attendees were struggling with self-doubt, just like he once had. Albert took time to share techniques he had learned. He spoke about mindfulness practices, the importance of resilience, and how to keep pursuing goals despite obstacles. He emphasized that failure was not the end, but a stepping stone towards success. His encouragement resonated with many ears. It was like a light bulb went off for others in the room. Moreover, Albert's self-control during the technical failure reassured everyone that setbacks are a part of life. He had transformed a potential disaster into an opportunity for growth. People admired his calmness in the face of trouble. Seeing him handle the situation with grace helped them recognize their own power to cope in challenging moments. By the end of the presentation, the room was buzzing with energy. Colleagues who had once been skeptical now approached Albert to discuss ideas further. They asked to collaborate on projects, inspired to explore together. His actions created a ripple effect, encouraging even the quietest voices to share their thoughts. Those connections paved the way for future partnerships and friendships based on mutual respect and understanding. This pivotal moment marked a turning point not just in Albert's career, but in his personal life. His emotional intelligence became a wellspring of influence, transforming his path in ways he had never imagined. The blend of resilience, empathy, and community spirit lit a fire within those around him. Albert learned that sharing emotions and growing together were as important as science itself. The transformation inspired him further. He knew that by continuing to engage with others on an emotional level, He could uplift and motivate in ways that traditional studies could not. Albert left the conference with a renewed sense of purpose. It was a solid reminder that emotional intelligence is a gift meant to be shared. As he took the first step toward a new chapter, he felt confident that his story was not just his alone, but a collective journey toward greatness. As Albert celebrated the success of his presentation, he remembered another figure who had faced great challenges but never lost sight of his dreams. This person was Thomas Edison, the famous inventor. Edison's journey to success was anything but simple. He started his life with many hurdles, yet his spirit of determination changed the world forever. Edison was born in 1847 in a small town in Ohio. From a young age, he fell in love with science. He dreamed of inventing things that would improve everyday life for people everywhere. However, his path was filled with setbacks. In school, teachers struggled to understand his curious mind. They did not see his potential and called him slow. This hurt young Edison deeply. He faced difficulties in learning, and it seemed like his dreams were far away. As he grew older, he continued to face rejection. Edison's first inventions failed again and again. One of his most famous failures was the early version of the light bulb. Many people told him it would never work. He faced endless criticisms and doubts about his abilities. Despite this, he held on to his dream. He learned an important lesson from each failure. Instead of feeling despair, he felt a spark of resolve. Edison's failures taught him resilience and how to embrace the process of creating. He realized that setbacks were simply steps on the road to success. This profound shift in his mindset propelled him forward. When he faced critics, he chose to see their words as a challenge to improve. His determination only grew stronger. He would try one more time, thinking about the people who needed light in their homes. In many ways, he fought against hopelessness with every failure he faced. Each night in the workshop was filled with candlelight and late nights, reflecting his dedication to his dream. Albert admired Edison's strength. Looking back, he saw how much he inspired others through his journey. The more Edison faced obstacles, the more people recognized his determination. His spirit ignited hope in those who also battled their doubts. People saw that with effort and persistence, dreams could become real. This encouraged many young inventors to follow their paths, just as Albert had chosen to do. As he went through those moments of reflection, Albert felt uplifted. He knew that everyone struggles at some point. He recognized how challenges come to strengthen our will to succeed. Right there in the conference hall, amidst the applause and excitement of his speech, Albert decided he wanted to bring Edison's legacy of hope to life even more. He envisioned a project where people, especially young scientists and innovators, could share their stories of struggle and triumph. He wanted to create a space where honesty about failure would lead to encouragement and new ideas. The shift from despair to determination was clear. Just as Edison's journey transformed into a legacy, Albert understood he could inspire others too. With a heart full of hope, he knew he had a chance to change the world. He, like Edison, could turn every setback into a stepping stone. Albert reflected on the journey he had taken, and it filled him with excitement to continue down this path. His story and the stories of others could guide, inspire, and show that every dream is achievable with the right mindset. After the excitement of the conference, Albert found time to reflect on his journey. The success of his presentation seemed to wash over him like a warm light. He felt grateful for the support and encouragement he received from the audience. As he looked back at the challenges he faced, he realized how much he had grown emotionally. They were not just hurdles. Each one had taught him valuable lessons about resilience and strength. In the days that followed, Albert took time to process his emotions. He understood the importance of reflecting on experiences. This included recognizing both the joyful and challenging moments. He started keeping a journal where he wrote down his thoughts and feelings every evening. Through writing, he discovered different sides of himself. Sometimes, he would write how proud he felt about overcoming fears, and other times, he would express the pain he faced with criticism. As he poured his heart into his journal, Albert also thought about how he could help others grow emotionally. Many young scientists looked up to him after the conference, and he felt a strong desire to give back. He decided to start a support group at his school for students interested in science. The goal was to create a space where they could share their dreams, fears, and failures. Albert wanted everyone to know that they were not alone and that it was okay to ask for help. In these meetings, he shared his experiences openly. He spoke about his fears before the big presentation and his struggles with self-doubt. His honesty inspired many students. They began to open up and share their own stories. Albert listened with empathy and kindness, encouraging them to express their emotions. The group transformed from just a gathering into a supportive community where voices were heard and validated. With each meeting, Albert saw his peers gain confidence. They encouraged one another to pursue their dreams despite the obstacles. The room was filled with laughter and understanding as they shared both successes and failures. As they talked, they developed a sense of camaraderie and courage. Students who once felt shy or disconnected began to thrive. They learned not just from Albert but from each other. Albert felt proud to witness their growth. This experience deepened his understanding of human emotions and the power of community. Albert also began to practice self-care more seriously. He started attending yoga classes to help calm his mind, and he noticed that it improved his focus. He realized that taking care of his emotional and physical well-being was just as important as pursuing his scientific goals. Slowly, he integrated mindfulness techniques into his daily routine. Each peaceful moment allowed him to recharge and show up fully for himself and others. As Albert continued to navigate this journey, he recognized that the path was not always easy, but it was always worth it. He embraced both the ups and downs as pieces of his growth. He began to understand that feelings are not something to run away from, but something to learn from and share with those around us. Each emotion carried meaning. His transformation helped him see challenges as opportunities, sparking fresh motivation in his heart. Through these moments of reflection and connection, Albert created a ripple effect. His growth spread beyond him. The students around him began leading their paths, confident and supported. Albert saw firsthand how encouraging others to embrace their emotions not only changed their lives, but also transformed his own. He felt a sense of purpose and fulfillment, knowing he was fostering an environment where dreams and emotional wellness could flourish together. As Albert continued his journey of emotional growth, he felt a newfound sense of power and responsibility. The support group he created was thriving. Students who once doubted themselves were now stepping into their potential. They shared ideas freely and encouraged each other, and the energy in the room inspired Albert deeply. It was clear that his efforts to empower himself had also sparked strength in his peers. With each meeting, Albert focused on cultivating a positive and growth-oriented mindset among the group. He often reminded them of an important lesson he had learned: failure is not the end, it is a step towards success. He reinforced this belief by sharing stories of famous inventors, including Thomas Edison, who faced criticism and failure throughout his life. He made sure that everyone understood the value of perseverance and self-compassion. When setbacks occurred, they framed it as a chance to learn and grow rather than as reasons to feel defeated. Over time, Albert became more aware of his own emotions. He learned to use emotional intelligence as a source of strength. When he felt stress or anxiety, instead of hiding these feelings, he openly shared them with the group. His honesty showed everyone that it was okay to acknowledge difficult emotions. This practice helped create a safe space for vulnerability, and it encouraged others to open up about their own struggles as well. They learned that showing their true selves was not a weakness, but a strength. Through skillful guidance, Albert empowered his peers to voice their hopes and fears. Together, they set goals for improvement, both individually and as a group. He encouraged them to embrace the task of tracking their goals, celebrating small victories along the way. This ongoing encouragement made each member feel understood and valued, boosting their confidence significantly. As the weeks passed, the atmosphere within the group grew more vibrant. Each student began to cultivate a sense of ownership of their dreams. They shared plans for future projects and discussed challenges they wanted to overcome. Albert helped them develop techniques to stay motivated, such as writing affirmations and reflecting on progress. He often reminded them to focus on the process rather than the destination. By valuing personal growth over immediate success, they began to see their paths in a new light. The experiences within the support group sparked something even more significant for Albert. He realized that empowerment came from leading by example. He wanted to inspire as many people as possible. Albert expanded his efforts by reaching out to nearby schools and inviting them to join workshops about emotional intelligence. He talked about how this skill could change lives and how understanding emotions could open doors for personal and professional success. In each workshop, Albert encouraged participation and connection. He used various activities, like group discussions and storytelling, to engage everyone in meaningful conversations. Watching others embrace their emotional journeys moved Albert deeply. With each stepping stone, he built a brighter future, not just for himself, but for those around him. The awareness and encouragement flowed as he saw people tap into their potential. As Albert empowered himself and the students around him, the urgency and importance of emotional intelligence became clear. They understood that just as plants need sunlight to grow, people do too. So they started to shine a light on their emotions, illuminating the path to their aspirations. This collective growth fueled Albert's spirit, inspiring him to continue working tirelessly to create environments where dreams could flourish. They were no longer just students sharing a space. They were a community filled with hope, resilience, and an unstoppable will to succeed. As Albert continued to inspire those around him, he remembered another famous figure who faced great challenges, Helen Keller. Helen was born in 1880, and from a very young age, she faced serious obstacles. A sickness left her both blind and deaf. Despite these limitations, Helen dreamed of achieving significant things in her life. She longed for knowledge, connection, and a voice to share her thoughts with the world. Growing up, Helen struggled with isolation. Words were a mystery to her without sight and sound. Many people thought her disabilities would hold her back forever. However, Helen's spirit was unbreakable. With the help of her teacher, Anne Sullivan, she learned to communicate. This support transformed her life and introduced her to the world of language using signs and symbols. With each small achievement, Helen grew more aware and determined. Helen faced many challenges as she worked toward her dreams. People doubted her abilities and believed returning to a small life was a better path. Yet the more she learned, the stronger her desire became to express her thoughts. Helen sought out difficult challenges rather than avoiding them. She believed in the power of perseverance. Whether it was writing or giving speeches, every step she took led her closer to her goals. Albert admired Helen's journey and saw the similarities in his own growth. Between Helen's determination and the encouragement of his support group, he was ready to take action steps of his own and help those around him further. Inspired by their progress, he decided to launch a community project featuring stories of hope and resilience, similar to Helen's. He wanted to gather personal experiences from students willing to share their journeys of overcoming challenges. To kick off his new project, Albert first organized a workshop that encouraged students to write about their stories. He assured them that sharing experiences is powerful. Together, they crafted an outline of what they wanted to share, focusing on 3 key points: the challenge they faced, how they felt during that period, and what actions they took to overcome it. This framework made it easy for everyone to structure their ideas simply. Albert guided each student through the writing process. He listened with empathy as they shared their fears and dreams. He respected their feelings and encouraged them to express themselves openly. As they wrote, Albert watched their confidence grow. They rediscovered their voices in a supportive space. With each story, light shone brighter in their eyes, giving each student a deeper understanding of their power. Once they completed their personal stories, Albert collected them and created a booklet titled Voices of Resilience. This booklet not only showcased each person's journey, but also served as inspiration for others. Albert organized a community event where everyone could share their story publicly. They practiced their speeches as a group, leaning on each other for support. The event became an extraordinary celebration of bravery and growth. On the day of the event, friends and family gathered to listen. As students shared their experiences, they inspired everyone in the room. The audience felt the energy and believed they, too, could overcome their challenges. Each story echoed Helen Keller's spirit of determination and empowerment. Watching his peers thrive, Albert realized they had all grown together. They proved that emotional intelligence could lead to success. This experience solidified their journey and prepared them for the next chapters in their lives. Helen Keller's legacy shone brightly alongside their efforts, reminding everyone that ambition and resilience can create meaningful paths. With courage, creativity, and connection, anything is possible. Albert knew they were not just telling stories, they were changing lives. Several months after the community event that celebrated the power of resilience, Albert found himself deeply inspired by the journey he had taken. Life had changed for him and those around him. The support group he started was now known as a beacon of hope for many students in the local area. More young people joined, eager to share their stories and connect with others facing similar challenges. By empowering each other, they created a culture of encouragement and perseverance. Albert was now studying at a local university, pursuing a degree in physics. He was excited about blending his education with his newfound passion for supporting others. His personal journey led him to the realization that science and emotional intelligence are closely connected. He believed that understanding human emotions can enhance scientific innovation and creativity. With this belief, he focused on projects that combined science with educational resources to promote emotional well-being in schools. One of his current projects aimed to develop workshops that blend scientific learning with emotional support. These workshops taught students not only about physics, but also about understanding their emotions during the learning process. He wanted to show them how science could be fun, creative, and approachable. Albert felt that by promoting emotional growth alongside scientific education, students could feel more empowered to pursue their goals. Throughout his journey, the once shy boy who struggled to fit in transformed into a confident individual who believed in himself and his purpose. He reflected often on how far he had come. The memories of his nervous days at school and the struggles of his early presentations reinforced his belief in the importance of emotional intelligence. Albert learned that embracing feelings could help individuals build connections and open doors to new opportunities. As a leader in the support group, he now trained others to take on mentorship roles. He inspired students to help facilitate meetings and share their unique insights. This approach added variety and new life to the group. It shifted to a community-driven space where everyone was encouraged to contribute. He felt proud to see young leaders emerging from within the group, ready to uplift future students. Albert also launched an online platform where students could share their stories and experiences with a wider audience. This platform showcased the impact of emotional intelligence in diverse fields, using real-life examples to illustrate concepts. His hope was that hearing stories would motivate other young people to embrace their challenges, just as he had done. By turning struggles into stories of hope, he wanted to create a network of inspiration that would teach others the value of resilience. As he adopted a forward-focused mindset, Albert reminded himself of the words that had kept him going during tough times. Every setback is a step towards success. His interactions with fellow students solidified his belief that emotions could inspire powerful change in the world. The emotional bond forged in the support group fostered growth, not only among the attendees, but within himself as well. Today, Albert continues to walk the path of growth and self-discovery while guiding others. His story has filled him with purpose, reminding him that real achievement includes supporting one another. In his heart, he knows that the journey does not end here. It continues to unfold every day. With each new challenge faced and every success shared, Albert stands ready to contribute to a world where everyone feels empowered to dream big and embrace their true selves. The future is bright, full of potential waiting to be realized, and he feels proud to play a part in shaping it for himself and others. As time went on, Albert's journey began to leave a lasting legacy. The support group he created, along with his projects at the university, sparked a wave of positive change in the community. Students who once feared sharing their emotions became brave storytellers. They learned to confront their challenges through thoughtful discussions and shared experiences. For many, these moments provided the support they needed to pursue their goals. Albert's story taught a powerful lesson. Emotional resilience can lead to personal and academic success. His experience became a guiding light for others. By openly embracing his struggles, he showed that vulnerability is not a weakness, but a profound strength. Many students who listened to his story learned the importance of self-acceptance and acknowledgement of their feelings. They discovered that the journey to self-discovery is full of ups and downs, but each step brings growth. The impact of Albert's work extended beyond the school. As his online platform gained attention, stories began to circulate widely. Students from different communities shared their paths to resilience and arrived at remarkable successes. They formed a network of hope, creating friendships and support beyond the boundaries of the classroom.